YouTube. You will see that here. Welcome, YouTube. I'm going to start the recording to the class as well. And we'll start the class. Okay, so this is OET Listening. It's Tuesday. We're on to Part C. It's quite a formal class, so we have a normal kind of usual structure, which is format, then we review the technique, and then we practice. But I want to start today's class, as I just told these guys, with a game. Vocabulary from yesterday. Does anyone remember the vocabulary from yesterday? Here it is. If you remember a word from yesterday, shout it out. Any word from yesterday?
Ameliorate. Culture.
Oh, ameliorate.
Uptake.
Yeah, uptake.
Complacency.
Complacency. Yeah.
Precursors, complacency.
Yeah. Brilliant. You do remember them.
Realizing.
Here they are. And as I said to you guys yesterday, you need to learn these for Friday, because I'll do like a quick test for you on Friday. We did well-established, uptake, outreach, reinforces a culture, precursor, and this phrase on a more grievous end of the spectrum, anomalies, deduce, proactively, avid, the way we frame her. I'm choosing sentences as well because meanings can change in a sentence. Reflected, take into account, and liaising. So I'm just going to start with a quick game before we start class. The game is this. I'm going to describe one of these words. You guys have to shout out what word I am talking about. All right, simple. I always play this game. So this word means something strange or very unusual.
Anomalies.
Yeah, plural is anomalies, right? Anomaly or plural anomalies. Strange or unusual. That's one meaning of this. Okay, this word means it's like when you go to a place that doesn't normally have contact with you, and you go out to that place and you help those people, or you give those people
Reach out. Outreach.
Yeah, outreach. Right. So maybe you're going out to the countryside or some remote place that doesn't have, doesn't have contact usually. Okay, if I am a very strong supporter of something, I can say I am an avid. Yeah, avid. Nice try. Okay, not reinforced, but it would be avid. Very strong supporter, very strong like of something. Okay, this word means a synonym is mirror.
Reflected.
Reflected.
What does it mean, reflected? Does anyone know? Reflected. It reflected the wide variation.
Yeah, like
Showed.
Outcome, maybe.
Let's just have a Neil, and then I'll take more. Go on, Neil. What does it mean?
Yeah, the word reflect mean like something which come back. Like a result, sometimes like in the shape of picture.
Okay, I like that. Did anyone review this the way that I defined this on the study document? Does anyone remember how I did it? I agree with what you said there, Neil. Look what I did on the study document. Okay, to show something about something else. Show something about something else. Okay. For example, my mum told me a funny story last night about when we were children, and she said one time my mother was very healthy. She would not let us eat unhealthy food, and then one time we went round to a friend's house, and the friend gave us all biscuits and chocolate. And me and my sisters, we went crazy because we never really had lots of biscuits and chocolate. So she said she was very embarrassed because we were like stealing all the chocolate and putting it in our jackets and down our pants. But she said, "Oh, that reflected really badly on me." What does it mean here? It means that our behavior showed something.
Reaction?
Yeah.
Our behavior showed something about
something else.
About her, right? So it has this meaning as well. We'll do one more, guys. Remember, on Friday, I'm going to do a full test, just one more. And you have the definitions here, so this should be very easy. This word means to kind of communicate with someone repeatedly, going backwards and forwards, like always
Liaising.
liaising something.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we pronounce it though? How do we, you can all shout out.
Liaising.
Ruzga, yeah, and Anil, it's liaise.
Yeah,
Liaising.
Okay, so that's just a game, but it's also to remind you, I'm going to test you on Friday with these words. These are real words from real reading and listening tests. In fact, you might hear some of this vocabulary today, okay? Because we're studying listening today, listening part C. And it's the usual sort of structure for a formal class. We are going to look at the format of the test. We can review that and remind ourselves what the test is like. Then we'll talk about technique. I want to talk about what we do before the audio starts and also what we do during the audio starts. Then we're going to practice, okay, with a handicap. What's a handicap? Anyone know here? Afra?
Problem. Disabled.
A handicap. It's kind of like disabled, but yeah, but here it's going to be, I'm going to make it more difficult for you, right? I'll show you what I mean later. But that's the plan, okay? So let's start with format. And I would like to speak to Katerina if she's there. Are you there, Katerina?
Yeah.
Katerina, so you've done the exam before. You said you've done the exam, so you should be able to tell me some basic facts about this exam. How many questions do we have? How many questions?
Each part C has 6 questions, and 3 choices of answers.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're giving me lots of answers here. So there are 6 questions. What in total? Then there would be
12 questions in total.
And you're saying 6 questions per audio clip. Okay, that's definitely right. And you also said that there are multiple choice options. How many options are there?
3 options for each question.
There's 3 options here. Okay, fantastic. And Ruzgar, could you say hello?
Hi.
Hey, Ruzgar, you're back in the OET game. How much time do we have before part C starts? How much time is there of reading?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. So can we help him, guys? How much time before the audio will start?
90 seconds.
20 seconds before audio starts. Okay. And Ruzgar, have you done the exam? I think you did it once, right?
No, I haven't done
right.
it.
So you're just okay.
I
So
haven't done even a mock test.
let's ask everyone then. So if you've done the exam, you will know this. How much time do we have to check our answers?
2 minutes.
2 minutes
2
in the
minutes.
last.
At the end. Now, is it only part C we will check?
No.
No, for whole paper.
2 minutes in
All
for all
answers
questions.
at the end, right? So A, B, and C. But it's still, I suppose, useful. It might be useful in part C if you're not sure about something. Okay, so there's 12 questions, 6 questions per audio, 90 seconds before the audio starts. We have 3 options, 2 minutes to check your answers at the end. What are we missing here? Am I forgetting something? I think this is more or less everything, really, isn't it? Let's talk about what are they testing then? We all know this, but let's just review. Afra, could you say hello? Or Alexandra? What are they testing us on?
In the main idea or understanding.
Yeah, I would say it is main idea listening. There is some main idea listening. What else, though? Anyone? Is there anything else?
Yes.
There's a little bit of
Inference.
inference. Okay. And I was talking about that yesterday, but let's just get someone to explain what inference is. You should all know what this is. Kanshan, could you say hello?
Yes, hello.
Kanshan, if you've seen the videos before, you should know what inference is. What is inference? What is this? She's not sure. You see, this is important.
I'm not sure.
So we can learn something. Guys, can you all teach her? What is inference? You can shout out. What is it?
Conclusion.
Making conclusions. Yeah. Anything else?
Indirect meaning.
Yeah.
Direct meaning.
Meanings. Okay. That's why it's so hard. Indirect meanings. They will not directly state the answer sometimes. all right? Not always, sometimes they do, but often you have to kind of make a conclusion, all right? Is that clear, Kanchan, what I mean by that?
Yes, yeah.
So simple, just to give simple examples, this is what I was saying yesterday. Imagine you invite someone round for dinner, Kanchan, right? I come to your house for dinner, but I do not eat your food. I don't finish. What does it mean? What's the indirect meaning of that?
Maybe you don't like it.
Maybe I don't like the food. What else?
Yeah.
You are not hungry.
Not
Yeah.
hungry. What else?
Maybe you are not in good mood.
Maybe I'm not in a good mood. Maybe I'm sick.
You are
Maybe
sick.
that is the
And maybe
big portion.
pregnancy. I don't know. But the point is, it's not directly. I don't say I am not eating your food because this, right? That's inference. You have to make an inference to decide, well, why is this person not eating the food? Okay. In the same way, in listening part C, sometimes you have to make a bit of, we call this a leap or a jump. You have to kind of like make a jump to see why someone is doing something. Okay. Now we'll talk about this later. Let me just move on to another topic. How long is the audio? Pushpa, could you tell us? Each audio clip. There are 2 clips, Pushpa, right? 2 audio clips. How long is each one? Do you know?
It is like 5 minutes.
What do you think, guys? Is it 5 minutes? I've forgotten myself. I haven't really. How long is each audio, guys? Everyone, is it 5 minutes?
4 to 5 minutes maximum, I think.
Yeah. Well, we can just say approximately.
Approximately, yeah.
5 minutes. So it's quite a long time you're listening. What will we listen to, Rebecca? Will I hear, for example, a consultation? What situation will I hear?
Presentation
Yeah, it can be a presentation or
and interview.
Or an interview. Good. And the one, what's just the one that everyone hates, Anil? If you could tell us, or Esgi, there's one that everyone absolutely hates here. What is it?
Presentation.
Presentation.
It's the presentation one. Why is the presentation one difficult? Anyone? Why is this one a little?
Because this is a monologue, I think.
Monologue, so it is hard to
Only
understand where are we.
Yeah, only one person speaking, so it's harder to what?
Because
It's
the
harder to
signpost.
Follow.
signpost,
Follow.
to know which place,
Question
where.
changes. Yeah, your place, Anil, right? So it's possible to get lost. I'll show you guys in a minute that it's not so difficult, but it's definitely possible. But the interview is a bit easier. Why is the interview a bit easier then? Here, the question changes when
Signposted.
When does the question change in an interview? Part C listening. What do we call that person who is like this? Look at my screen, guys. What do we call this person?
Interviewer.
Interviewer, right? Like doctor, right? Interviewer asks a new question. So it's really almost impossible to get lost here. You cannot get lost with the interview, right? You always know when the question changes, but with a presentation, you don't. Okay. So this is the test. It's not easy. I cannot lie, it is not easy, and many people really, really have problems with this. But you have 12 questions, okay? There's 6 questions per audio. There's 2 minutes to check your answers at the end. We have 2 audio clips. We have 2 audio clips to listen to. They're testing you on main idea or inference 90 seconds before the audio starts. There's always 3 options. And you're always going to hear a presentation or an interview. What's the topic, by the way? Last question, guys. What's the topic of the presentation or the interview? It's always
health-related topics, mostly.
Of course, health-related. And then, like, is it going to be? What do we?
Could be a research.
Diabetes.
Or,
always research, isn't it? Research on health. Yeah, health research, and or something like what else?
New equipment.
New equipment. It could be, yeah. Or it could be like a new philosophy or like a new approach to medicine, something like this.
Services, use of services.
All that stuff, yeah, exactly. Okay, any questions about this? This is everything that I know about this test in terms of the format. Does anyone have any questions if you're new to the test? Anyone who's new here? All right, fantastic then. So let's move on to technique. And I'm going to ask someone to explain the techniques that we should use. Let's ask Petruta. Could you say hello, Petruta? Is it okay, Petruta, if you could help us out here? Okay, well, if she's not going to speak to me, let's try Ezgi or Melanie. Could you say hello, Ezgi or Melanie?
Hello.
Hey there, Ezgi. Thanks for helping me out here. And guys, look, if I say your name, please don't leave me waiting. Tell me, if you can't speak, tell me at the start of the class. Otherwise, there's a problem. Now, Petruta has actually told me, so thanks, Petruta. Okay, so Ezgi, before we start, again, we already said this. How much time do we have?
A 90 seconds.
Yeah, there it is. Right, you have 90 seconds. And what do you do, Ezgi? What's your technique here?
Oh, we read the questions, Tom.
Yeah, well, you can read everything, I guess. It depends, really. Different people say different things here, Ezgi. And do you read everything, or do you just read the question stems? What do you read? Only this?
No, I read every question stem.
90 seconds is quite a long time. That's 1 minute, 30 seconds. I think maybe you can read everything. Ruzgar, do you think you can read 6 questions in 90 seconds? Anil?
Yes, almost.
I just read 4 questions, and I don't read for 2 questions a whole. I just read last 2 questions. Question stem, I don't read options.
Okay, interesting. Do what you can in the 90 seconds. Obviously, we're going to read these things, okay? What are we focusing on now, though? Ezgi or Naveed, what are you trying to think about when you read this? Naveed, could you say hello?
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
So 90 seconds, you're thinking, okay, I read Dr. Marsh says, right? Dr. Marsh says that one aim of the new guidelines, blah, blah, blah. I look at this, what do I do? Am I going to...
Well, at some point, yes, underlining like those things that might direct us to the answer. So, for example, in A, to educate young sports people.
Yeah, go on, A.
Yeah, for example, young sports people, educate young sports people could be something really important.
Correct. What?
That's how I actually approach like this part of the test.
Yeah. So I totally agree, Naveed. So you would say educate sports people, correct misunderstandings, provide what?
Provide a range of specialist advice. Specialist advice. Yeah.
Specialist advice. So the way I think about this is I'm underlining not specific words. I'm underlining what do I call these? Does anyone know what I call?
Main idea words.
Main idea words, right? Remember, the test is not a test of listening for specific details. That's listening part A, all right? I'm supposed to be trying to find the main ideas. Because, Afra, for example, could you say hello?
Hi.
Afra, if I hear this word specialist in the exam, right, they say specialist. Does that mean it's going to be the answer?
No.
No, of course not, right? So specific words, hearing a specific word will not give the answer, of course, right? It would be very easy then, wouldn't it? This could actually make you choose the wrong answer. We need to focus on main ideas, all right? So the main idea of A is, as Naveed says, educate sports people. We're listening for that, okay? Now, Naveed, would you also underline anything in the question itself? Would you underline anything here?
Well, I think it makes it a bit easier to deal with like the question. So that's it's beneficial to underline some stuff here. For example,
maybe Dr. Marsh says.
Not this one, because we know that Dr. Marsh is talking.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Very good point, right? Because you hear an interview with Dr. Marsh, okay? And he will do all the talking, guys. The interviewer will not give any answers.
Yeah, yes. That's right. Maybe the new guidelines on concussion is.
Yeah, there you go.
Aim.
Yeah.
One
Aim of the new guidelines.
Yes, that's a very good point, right? You guys know. Okay, so this is just like with reading. What you're trying to do is get to the, you have a nice idiom in English. Has anyone heard this idiom before in English? Get to the heart of the matter. What does that mean, heart of the matter? Get to the heart.
The core.
The core, the center, right?
Yeah.
As Naveed says, Dr. Marsh is not something we need to focus our attention on, right? It's aim of guidelines concussion is. So in your 90 seconds, most students, they underline words, but they're focusing on main ideas. Does that make sense, everyone? Is that clear? You're not looking for specific words. Okay. Any questions on this, or does anyone have any other techniques you would like to recommend? Any comments from you guys? Okay, well, just keep your microphones off, guys. Someone, we just heard you sighing there. That's okay if you want to sigh.
think,
maybe you don't do that in front of everyone. Yes, go on.
This strategy is, I think, one of the best, because when we just, for example, extract the main idea, it's a good idea, because we cannot keep all words in our mind at the same time.
Exactly, we have an attention problem, don't we? So we focus on the main idea here, guys. And look, it's fairly obvious, but some people who are new to OET, they will not know this, okay? But what about after? After the 90 seconds, what should I do now? Let me ask Jenny. Could you say hello, Jenny, or Paula? Okay, so before we start, we have 90 seconds. I'm trying to focus on main idea words. I can underline them. I can, okay.
Yeah,
what about
after
after?
90,
yeah, go on.
yeah, after 90 seconds, maybe we can focus on the words which we have already underlined.
Yeah, we're going to be
listen
reading and
carefully.
listening at the same time. Definitely, guys. This is one of the big problems here, isn't it? We have to read and listen at the same time. Okay. But I'm interested in what are we focusing on? Where is our attention? How long? How about this? I didn't talk about this before, but this is very important. How long will question 31 be? Or it moves to question 32? How long is that question? Ruzgar, Naveed?
5 seconds, maybe.
50 seconds.
Each question, let's say, is approximately 50, let's say 45 to 70 seconds. Okay? That's the maximum amount of time that the question will be. Okay? Think about it. You have, how many questions are there? 6 questions. 5-minute audio is going to be about 50 seconds, right? So, Dilruba, could you say hello? Everyone else, please, microphones off if I can hear some noise. Dilruba.
Yes.
After the 90 seconds, should I be reading everything here and listening at the same time? All of this, and this, and this, and this, and listen?
No.
Right?
If it's interview, then interviewer asks the question, then I will know that my answer will come soon. So
Okay.
I'll listen.
Okay.
So, and when I felt the answer came, and I look to the options and choose.
When you feel the answer has come, all right? And this is the key point, guys, all right? How long is that, Dilruba? How long before I look at the answer options?
I don't know, sometimes it come right away, but sometimes it takes time.
This is a very important point, guys. Look, when do I move from focusing here, right? When do I move from that to focusing here? How long? I'll tell you how long, because I've taught many doctors and the doctors all taught me, okay? So this is not really coming from me, it's coming from some of my best students, okay? Approximately 15 to 20 seconds, okay? Is that clear, everyone? It's on here. 15 to 20 seconds. You're only going to focus on, everyone, on what?
Listening.
Just the question and the audio. Okay? Because, look, I am a native speaker and I cannot take all of that information in and listen. So if I cannot do it, there's no way you guys can do it. All right? So it's only question and audio. Okay? For about 15 to 20 seconds. Microphones off, please. Again, please keep your microphones off. Whoever that is. Ruzgar, come on, you're kind of spoiling my class here, Ruzgar. Okay, keep it off, please. Okay, so 15 to 20 seconds.
It's not me. It's not me.
All right, I saw it was on. Apologies. Okay, what do we do next, guys? What do we do next? After 15 to 20 seconds, do we go home? What do we do?
Move to the options.
Now it's options and audio, right? I don't really see any other choice. I know people sometimes say to me, oh, it's difficult. Okay, but it's also difficult to read the question and read A and B and C, put that all in your head and listen to the audio at the same time. It's not possible. Can't do it. Okay, so we have to do something like this. All right. What about, when do I choose my answer though? This is where I am less clear myself. When should I choose my answer?
Maybe in the end of the audio.
End of the audio.
End of audio.
Probably around here. Do you all agree? Probably around here?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a really nice student called Saurab, and he says sometimes he knows already like here. Sometimes he already knows about here, right? But you need to be careful, because what do they do sometimes at the end? Think about
Answer
it.
will be
At the end of it, they change it, right?
Change.
So maybe he's going, oh, the question is, what is Alan's favorite food, right? And here it's like, yeah, pizza. Oh, but hamburgers, right? So I don't think we should be choosing in the middle of this time. Okay, remember, maximum time is about 45 to 70 seconds. We should be choosing probably here, all right? Okay, is there any questions about this, or would anyone like to maybe add a point to this? Feel free to put your microphones on if you would like to. Maybe I'm being too strong with this, but I've been teaching this a long time. But please, put your microphones on if you'd like to challenge it or add something, because we're going to start the test. But would anyone like to ask a question, please?
I got a question.
Yes, please, sir. Come on.
Yeah, sure. Regarding like the first 15 to 20 seconds, so I was wondering if we have to, because you mentioned that, could you please scroll it down a bit?
Yeah.
No, down a bit. Yeah. So question audio. So it means we have to simultaneously listen and read the questions. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have no other choice.
Is it not really hard to manage, like listening and reading simultaneously?
Yeah. Well, Navid, welcome to OET.
Yeah. Thank you.
Say, right? Do we have a choice, guys? Do we have a choice but to read and listen with Part C? No choice at all. You must do this. Okay. So obviously your 90 seconds, you can read it as well, Navid. But then if you read 4 questions, you're not going to remember question 1, are you? When you get to question
Definitely,
5.
it's impossible to take in all the information.
But then you're going to return back and focus only on the question audio for about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. Now, guys, we are going to try this out. Okay. Yes, question, please, go on. Just getting my time.
How do you follow the time?
Yeah, I was hoping someone would ask me this. When you say follow the time, okay, so in the exam, you're not allowed these, no wristwatches, okay? You just have to feel it, Atis. You just have to feel it.
Okay.
How do we do that? I'm going to show you now. I'm going to demonstrate it, all right?
Thank you.
Any other questions before we start the test? I will demonstrate timings now. But any other questions? Anyone worried about losing their place, signposting or anything like that? No one's worried about signposting. Typically, people are worried about signposting.
May I say something?
Yes, Naveed, go on.
I think it's common. It's really common to actually lose the place, but it's really important to build up a very strong listening stamina. That helps a lot.
Yeah, obviously, practice is key here, right? Because they don't look, and you cannot time everything out. So you just have to practice. We're going to do some practice now, okay? If anyone's worried about the interview style, right? Sorry, the presentation style and losing your place, don't be worried about this. It's very, very simple, okay? How do I know when the question changes when it's a presentation? How will I know?
From voice changing.
Sometimes the voice, Atis is right. Voice changes. What else changes? How do I know the question changes?
Keywords.
Sequence wording.
What we call signposting or keywords. Okay, so let me show you just a very simple example. This is really easy. Okay, can everyone see this example here?
Yes.
So
Yes.
OET will signpost a change in the question when it's a presentation, right? This is a presentation. Can you all see? All right. Now, look at the question 38. When does it change from 37 to 38? You can see, here is the transcript. Can anyone see where it changes? What's the word that shows me? Yeah, you can underline it if you want, guys, right? Yeah, right. So in the question, it says typical admission, and in the audio, it says typical hospital admission, right? This is what we call a signpost. All right, so that's how to not get lost in a presentation situation. Okay, we'll do another quick one. You guys tell me, when do we change from 38 to 39? Okay, so what are my keywords here telling me? Where's the signpost? Poor communication, probably, right? Okay, where is that here? Can anyone see poor communication? Poor communication.
The outlook is poor.
Yes, yeah. The consequence of poor communication.
So they will always say a word in the question to signpost that the question is changing. And it's not usually very difficult to hear as long as you focus clearly. All right. All right. So I just wanted to mention that. Now we're going to try and take all of this. I know I've been saying a lot of things, but we're going to try and take all of this and put it into real practice. Okay. So is everyone ready? Maybe you can get a pen and a piece of paper.
Yes.
Just tell me, just put in on the microphone when you're ready, guys. Just say ready when you're